What's up, Titos and Titas? Jared Anconda here, you're watching TitoFit. In this channel, we talk about fitness, health, wellness, and living your best life as a proverbial Tito or a Tita. So if you're into that kind of thing, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, you can give it a smash. Make it blue. Alright. So today we are reviewing the Metcon React Turbo. So that is the successor to last year's Metcon React. Now, we did a review on that and I'm wearing it. It's actually my daily. So whenever I work out, I wear these. These are my go-tos. They're very comfortable. And in the last, among all the generations of the Nike Metcon, I can honestly say after wearing it for a long time that these Metcon Reacts that I'm wearing, the old ones from last year, the 2020 release, are my absolute favorite. So, we're gonna check them out courtesy of Junie. You've seen her in our What's the Metcon review. As you can see, she's wearing it right now. She's had enough time to test them out and use them. So these are the white metallic gold colorways, very, very limited colorway of the Nike Metcon React Turbo. So we unboxed them earlier, and now we're gonna talk a little bit about them and how she feels about them, how she felt using them. Junie and myself have been CrossFit coaches for the last 8 years. So we started coaching in 2013, and this is now our 8th year in the biz. So needless to say, I have gone through every iteration of the Nike Metcon shoe except for the Nike Metcon 2 and the Nike Free Metcon 3. I never owned those, but other than that, I've had every single iteration of the Nike Metcons. So that gives me a, somewhat trustworthy opinion on these shoes. Alright, so let's get to it. Now, as we see here, it has a different outsole altogether. Very, very different. You used to have a more solid outsole that came all the way out to the side, but now this is the only solid part, and out here you have some rubber reinforcements. They come out like fins or like gills for a fish, and then you have like this knit material here. At the back you can see that Metcon logo, and then it says Nike React all the way out to the sides of the outer and the upper. Now, over here on the outside of the shoe, you can see it's a mesh material, and you can kind of see through it. You can see the inside of the upper, and even the laces on these ones are different from the usual laces that you have, which are flat and always come off. So that's my one gripe with Nike Metcons, is that the laces do come off, and they haven't worked on that. As far as the laces are concerned, I give that over to Reebok. But let's see with these new ones. Now, obviously, as we can see, it's very breathable. It's following the same pattern that the Metcon 6 has started with that mesh and breathable upper. As compared to the old versions of the Nike Metcon, all the way from the 1 to the 5, that they have all been very closed. So the new ones, the 6 and this React one, they're very breathable. Now, you can see on the inner side of the shoe, the material changes. It's still a breathable material, but it's a little bit tougher, I'd say. So if you're touching it, this one's a little bit softer. This one's slightly tougher. You can see that. And then there's a little bit of reinforcement here. And as a CrossFitter, you can tell that these are meant to be able to withstand rope climbs. So whenever you wrap your feet on that rope, they used to mess up your shoes. So with these reinforcements, hopefully they're strong enough to take some punishment. Now, we weren't able to test them with the rope climbs, but it's a very, very light shoe. I'd say this is lighter than the regular Metcon 6. We're gonna ask Junie's thoughts on that later. The insole is almost identical. The React insole is almost identical to the older one. Now, you can see that material there, and then you have the inside of the shoe. Solid construction even on the inside. No stitches out of place. This looks to be, here's the thing guys, when like we're talking about shoes and like other sneakers, Jordans or whatever, those are normally worn not to be abused. Now Nike Metcons, on the other hand, are worn to be used and abused. That's the main difference. Now let's get Junie's thoughts on these shoes. So she used them earlier, like for the workout.
Yeah. Alright, so we did some power snatches, solid lifting shoe, I would say. Not as stable as the Metcon 6s since those have the inserts for extra stability, but the base is solid enough for Olympic weightlifting that you probably wouldn't need a separate shoe for Olympic weightlifting. As far as the Metcon, we did deadlifts, some shoulder to overhead, and toes to bar. Super light. I'd say it's a really good all-around shoe.
Straight out of the box. They don't
Straight
come
out of
with,
the box. No need to.
They don't come with hyper lifts.
They don't come with hyper lifts.
Yeah.
So those were the inserts I was talking about. So if you were to buy just one CrossFit shoe among those that are available in the market right now, I would say this is a solid option. You can feel that this part is a lot more flexible than in the Metcon 6, but compared to those, that's a lot more flexible, I would say. So these would be good for running, jumping,
double unders,
that kind of thing. Much better than this one. I'd say this is a better all-around shoe.
All-around.
Yeah.
I'm not that big a fan of running in the Metcon 6s, especially when you do workouts like Murph, where you're gonna go for a mile run before and then a mile run after. I personally have Metcon 6s and they're not my favorite shoe for running longer distances. Running for 400 meters for a couple of rounds is fine, but once we get to like those longer 800 meter or higher, where you're running for at least about 4 minutes, they're not my favorite shoe to wear. But I don't know, haven't worn these yet. Have a colorway. Maybe I'm gonna wait for a better colorway for myself. But then the previous Reacts though, I love those. The ones that I'm using, these are like my favorite. I can use them for anything. Jump rope, running, jumping, lifting, absolutely anything. I'm fine with them. So
I never had the React, so my point of reference is really the Metcon 6, Metcon 5. Like the 6 is over the 5s, but so far these are really good. I'd say this is a really solid contender for this one, especially if you're doing more like all-around fitness, jumping, running.
It looks a lot sleeker too, so it gets some points for
on
for
the
design.
aesthetic side.
Well, you know, that's usually a personal preference, but personally I like these a lot more than I like these. It's just that these haven't come out in a nice men's colorway yet. Nike, gotta step up your colorway game. So, how many stars would you give this out of 5?
I'd say I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5.
So what's the thing that you didn't like about it?
The only thing
any?
I didn't like about this, probably because it was white. From one workout, you get a little bit of staining there. Probably should have sprayed this with crepe first or something. But yeah, that's about it. I don't normally tie my shoelaces, so like I wear my Metcons like this, even for working out, because the laces come off anyway when you tie them, so I just don't tie them at all. So for these ones, these are how they were tied when I got them out of the box, and that's how I wore them. I just slipped my feet in, and they held up fine. So, and this part also, there's a little bit of creasing there already from one workout, but hey, it's a performance shoe, so I don't really mind. Yeah. So 4.5 stars out of 5.
Only because of the colorway.
Maybe if it came in another colorway, I'd give it a 5.
So, hope you guys like that. Special thanks to Local Active for letting us shoot here and test it out with at the workouts. And check them out if you're here in Manila, in the Philippines, in Quezon City. Very, very easily accessible. And hit them up on their social media. And that's it.